Homelessness has always been a controversial issue in San Francisco. It doesn't seem to make sense that a city so prosperous and politically minded would have thousands upon thousands of people sleeping on its streets every night. The concern is there. Most people are aware of the homeless problem, but few seem to have a clear idea of what to do about it. The problem is so huge that it seems almost insurmountable. But is it? Are there any real solutions out there? Well, let's see if we can't find out.
Think they don't want to sleep on the street out in the cold. Give it a try sometime, I do. Cause you win it, cause you win it, cause you win your next birthday. Where your next meal come from? Will you even have one? How will you ever get out?
In April 2007, the San Francisco Homeless Services Coalition came into existence, starting a door-to-door canvassing campaign to try to raise community awareness as well as much-needed resources for family shelters. However, just 9 months later, due to a lack of involvement, they were forced to shut down.
SFHSC was a branch of the statewide Homeless Services Coalition, which is an advocacy organization that exists in Los Angeles and existed for 9 months here in the Bay Area as well. By nature of us being a very grassroots organization, a very young organization, we just had to, everybody had to put in a lot of hours and had to be getting some reward out of it other than, the money. Ultimately it became difficult for us to recruit people.
So do people really just not care enough, or do they just not know what to do to help? Here are the answers I got.
They're friendly. I like them.
I mean, of course, I think it's a horrible thing. I don't really know how you get out of this cycle, essentially.
I mean, the government really ain't trying to do nothing about it, so I don't see it changing.
I think they're probably homeless for a reason, and if they think they can probably get a job.
We focused on women and children, because they were more vulnerable to violence and HIV and AIDS and everything else, but in fact tended to receive the fewest amount of services. Currently about 80% of all homeless services are going just towards single adult males, so it's a really underserved population and a really vulnerable population.
Well, you don't need that.
Is a much more, like a long-term problem that needs to be solved instead of just giving them shelters and stuff, because that's a short-term answer.
I guess that things that provide opportunities to homeless people are really great things, and then to make sure that that their kids have better opportunities than they did.
And then we actually have to supply housing. So there's an overpopulation of folks that actually have encampments and live on the street.
What we were trying to do was something that no other organization was really doing exactly. We were trying to, on one hand, support shelters directly, but on the other hand, we were also trying to coordinate these in-kind resources and establish a network that would really be a resource for all Bay Area shelters and all Bay Area residents. There were some people who blamed people for their situation, some people who didn't, but some people thought, well, even if they are responsible for the situation, they should be able to have a second chance. They should be able to have some sort of safety net. It's not right that there is no, that in a city this prosperous, there is no safety net for these people.
There was a homeless guy sitting on the street, and his sign said, "You can verbally abuse me for some change." People thought the sign was really funny, but I thought it was kind of tragic.
And then the people who don't have money, who don't need the stuff, they just need to stay warm and to eat and to shit and to not be sleeping in their shit. They're kind of left in the cold because these people are ruling everything.
I think it's a national disgrace that we have homeless people, that there can't be some intelligent who can get a solution. It is hard.
The Los Angeles branch is still thriving. Since the start of 2008, they haven't had a single month that they've pulled less than $100,000. And so they're on track to have a $1.2 million a year, which is phenomenal, which will bring a lot of help to the shelters down there in LA that they're supporting. It's still something that that we could revive, when the time's right and when there are people who can get involved in it.
So, what are you waiting for? Get involved.